Hey guys, it's Ian Karaga here from Guru Yoga. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe, like our YouTube channel as well as our social pages for Insta and Facebook, and including Twitter as well, where you get the up-to-date photos, tutorials on yoga and how it's going to enhance your overall life. What we're going to do today is peak performance yoga postures for surfing. These postures will benefit you. So I picked out about, they say, 6 best postures that relate to surfing and how it can improve both your paddling, your strength, your endurance, as well as balance and core strength. So we'll go through that, and please let us know what you think at the end. Please comment. Just as well, we are at Soul Center here in Southport, in use of their studio, so it's Ferry Road, and let's begin. All right, we're back. So what we're going to do here is going to go through 6 postures. I'll explain what the postures are, how to set up for them, and then the relationship between yoga and surfing. So there's about 6 of them. We're going to probably do crescent lunge, warrior 2, up dog, crow pose, a side plank, and even a bow pose. So just let me put the camera back down, set it up, and then we can go from there. All right, cool. All right, so the first posture we want to go with that's going to help benefit you is generally, just to start off, is getting the hips to stretch out and the arms and lats, because you can do a lot of paddling when you're surfing, especially if you're a beginner, as well as it helps you with core strength at the same time. So what we're going to do is a child's pose, or balasana as it's called. So let me just take this off and then we'll go from here. So you want to take your knees up nice and wide, have the toes touch to start off with. You can take them close if you have any shoulder issues, otherwise we're going nice and wide. You can extend the arms forward, let the forehead rest. So as you settle into that posture that we just did there, just ensure that your breathing remains constant. You're pulling the belly in on the inhale and then letting the belly just draw towards the floor on the exhale. Also feel like you're tucking your tailbone underneath, and what that will do is activate your pelvic floor, or Mula Bandha as we call it in yoga, to engage all the core muscles that are seated with the pelvic floor region. So from that position, we can extend the arms and begin to stretch the lats, which are the muscles along here, giving you a better lengthening effect, especially when you're paddling, when you're coming through under the board, coming back through again. So it's good to have stretched out lats and chest as well to help you. Okay, so another version of that, which I demonstrated earlier, is if you have any shoulder issues, and that will alleviate any pressure you have in the shoulders, especially it's me. I had this, not reconstructed, but I totally destroyed it from an old snowboarding injury. So I tend to go a little bit wider with my hands in the child's pose. All right, so generally you want to hold that posture anywhere from 5 to 10 breaths. Mind you, an inhale to an exhale is considered 1 full breath in yoga. So 5 to 10 breaths, which sometimes can mean 20. Hold that just enough that you can feel the lats stretching out, the chest stretching out, as well as just calming the mind, the back of the neck and the shoulders if it's something physical that you're after. So next posture we're going to go into now is going to be your up dog pose. If you look at people who are surfing, it's just up dog, warrior 2. So with an up dog position, you maybe want to start in a high plank, which is here, one of the biggest postures to increase your core strength. We're going to come forward with the shoulders, ensure that the shoulders are pulling forward and the toes are pulling back towards the chest. That'll enable the core to stay engaged, strong, and the spine to remain neutral. So you're going to breathe in, lower to the floor, elbows underneath the wrist, exhale. Have a slight pause before taking the fingertips nice and close to the lower ribs. Tendencies, we have a lot of people go from here to go to the up dog, but you really want to get them nice and tight, elbows under, so that you have less pressure on the wrists and the shoulders. And as you press the tops of the feet into the floor, you're going to lift the chest. Notice how my shoulders are directly stacked underneath, or above actually, my wrists. Chest up nice and high. Take a breathe in. And then over the toes, meeting downward facing dog. Exhale. Okay, so now that we got our crow pose, not crow pose, we're almost there, but we're adding crow pose today. Now that we've got our up dog posture as well as our child's pose posture, we're going to do a high lunge, or crescent lunge as it's called, with the back heel lifted. So here we go. Okay, let's just do the next pose now. And it's going to be a crescent lunge, or a high lunge, it's also known as, and it'll help you with your balance for getting on the board after you pop up. So with the back heel lifted, hands up nice and high, you can take them as wide or as close as you need to. Just ensure that the right knee or the lead knee is somewhere over the ankle, not necessarily here. You can get it there. It can be slightly bent if you need to. First option down is here. Your second option could be slightly bent. Your third option is exactly straight. So take the chest up nice and high, feel it widening, and then take the hands all the way back to lift the heart. Continue to breathe the hands and the fingertips up while relaxing the wrists, the biceps, and the shoulders. Take a breath in, and then just really feel that left hip lower into the floor as you exhale. It'll give you a good stretch for the hip flexor or psoas, which takes the pressure off your lower back. This is your crescent lunge, nice and high. Big inhale, and then full exhale. Feel like you're pushing your feet away from the center line of your mat, because eventually we'll end up here, Warrior Two. All right, so we've gone through 3 postures. Our child's pose, which is going to help us stretch out the lats, the shoulders, and the chest, as well as tuck a tailbone underneath to release the lower back. We also started with an up dog, which will help you on your pop-ups, strengthening through the triceps, relaxing the shoulders, and then engaging the core. And then we just did, previously right there, was the crescent lunge or high lunge, which will get you to balance after you pop up. Strengthening the legs, the core, and really opening up through the chest to bring that balance. Now we're going to do a Warrior Two posture. So with your Warrior Two, whatever leg you're taking forward, whether you're goofy foot or reg foot, you're going to take your lead leg 90 degrees, outer edge of your left foot or back foot onto the floor just as if you were on the tail pad, and then we're going to take the hands and then we're going to go wide. So balancing from here. Just ensure that the heels are pressing into the floor and feel like they're even hugging towards the midline of your mat. Keeping the chest lifted, extend the arms and relax the shoulders. So the crown is high, breathing in. And maybe you want to sink a little bit deeper to feel that stretch on the inside of the left thigh as you exhale. Also notice that the inner right thigh is rotating up. So shoulder blades back, chest up nice and high, inhaling, and then settling on the exhale. Spread the fingers and then look over your middle right finger as your point of focus, as if you were surfing. You're looking actually down the line rather than down to the floor, down towards your feet. Breathing in and then back out again. All right, so that was your Warrior Two. Next posture now is going to be a side plank. You can do it whether on your elbows or straight arm, but it's helping assist in arm and shoulder development and strength and balance and stability, as well as core strength and stability. So we'll start off, we'll do the right hand first. So your first option is you can take the knee down if you need to. Just ensure that the hip is directly underneath the knee and the shoulders directly above the wrist. It saves pressure on your joint. This is your first option. Nice and high from here. Next option, if you like, is you're going to breathe your heel off the floor, maintaining that balance as you press the top of that lead foot, or your right foot in this case, on the floor. More modified or advanced is you're going to stack one foot on top of the other, squeezing the shoulder blades together and then opening up the chest to the sky. Continue to lift as if you're being pulled from your belt loop on the left hand side. Inhaling to lift and then exhaling to open up the chest. You can look either down or up to find whatever suits you. Or bow pose, or upward facing bow as it's called. This is going to really get you to stretch out the chest, the shoulders, as well as the neck and the throat, and giving you a good release through the hip flexors as well. Maintaining balance on the mat. So you're going to grab one foot to the ankle, other foot as well. You can start off with the chin or forehead on the mat, but eventually we're going to kick back, pushing the feet away, squeezing the inner thighs together, and then lift the chest. Not necessarily looking up. Remember to look forward, and as you breathe, get the chest to go a little bit wider. Inhaling, and then exhale. Lifting the heart for one more. Deep breath in, and then release. Exhale. From here, you can go into an up dog. Inhale, press into downward facing dog. We'll go Warrior Two, to even to a crescent lunge, and then back down to a low plank. Into another up dog. Inhale. You can go into a side plank. Exhale. Breathe in. Come forward. Down exhale. Up dog again. and then finish in child's pose. Okay, cool. We got one more posture, and it's called crow pose. It's an arm balancing asana that's going to be integral for your surfing, and the fact that it gives you balance. It helps strengthen both your arms and your core, as well as maintain stability for your entire body, especially when you're paddling or ready to pop up on a surfboard. So we'll begin with instruction on how to do your crow pose. Okay, so for most people, one of the major things is fear that's stopping you from getting to an arm balancing posture, specifically crow, in the fact that you're facing the ground. So what we're going to do is just work on strengthening through the arms. You're going to have your hands shoulder width apart. Hold on, let me remove that for a second. Shoulder width apart. You're going to lift your chest up and ensure that you're continually looking forward. Maybe just if you put a prop there and look in that direction. Lifting the heels and bringing the knees to the triceps. So we're actually going to do a bent elbow crow pose, and we're going to come forward. So bend the elbows at 90 degrees. Feel like you're actually pushing up off the floor rather than pushing into the ground. So lifting the chest, coming forward, taking one foot off the floor as you continue to extend, or you can do both. Take one foot, alternate. If not, both feet come off the floor, pointing the toes as high as you can, breathing in and then out. Lifting from the chest and looking forward. Take another inhale. Step back into a high plank or to a low plank. Turn it into an up dog. Breathe in and end up in downward facing dog. All right, so you got your 6 yoga postures dedicated to surfing: your child's pose, your side plank, your warrior 2, high lunge, and your crow pose. Oh, I'm missing one more. It was your child's pose. So try those out, practice with them, and you'll notice that the stability in your surfing as well as in yoga will actually improve and increase. So just being more efficient, easier to do. Be sure to subscribe and like, as well as comment below. Please follow all our social pages on Guru. My name is Ian. Talk to you soon. Cool.